I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and
justice for all.
Have U.S. hockey team go parading by for us.
Yeah.
How come your hair's not got striped gold in it? All righty, as always, we work from an agenda, and based on what I get about a week or so before the meeting, I'll send that agenda out. And we do have some guests this evening, and they had contacted us, so you're on the agenda very early on. We've got a couple of administrative pieces to take care of. So, first order of business is the approval of the 12/22 minutes, since the storm was much larger last time and we didn't meet. So, I assume everybody's had a chance to look at them. I didn't see comments really coming back other than a couple early ones, so. Any questions, comments? Hey, can I get a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion to accept the minutes?
Motion by Kevin,
A second.
second by Drew. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
No opposed. Okay, 7-0. All righty. Next administrative item we've got is and it's a typical, we used to get copies back in the old days. We'd get hard copies of things, but it's the annual report. I sent that out to everybody. It's the 2025 annual report for the county. And the Windsor section was reviewed, most of it put together by Gary. And I sent that out. Did anybody have any questions about those items? Okay, then what we need to do is to accept that so that we can be included in the annual report. So if I can get a motion to accept the New Windsor portion of the Carroll County 25 annual report.
Motion to accept.
By Kevin, second by Dave Grayson. Thank you. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Nobody opposed? Okay, so it was Kevin and Dave and 7-0.
6-0.
Rebecca's not here.
Only 6 of us.
But I'm counting Ed.
Oh.
Sorry, both votes were 6-0. I did not hear from Rebecca. I know she had a long way to come.
Counting you, Ed, but I think you should. But we like your vote.
I have you on the agenda, Ed. And did you want to do a little briefing or just turn it over to Kevin, or what's your pleasure?
Well, I'll share with you what I've got,
Okay.
and what I've done so far, and then we can see where it goes from there.
Sure. Sounds good.
So, the town received this letter from Kevin Eldon, who is representing a client that is purchasing the property at 1000 Green Valley Road, the old New Windsor Middle School. And,
That's Springdale, correct?
well,
Okay.
the letter doesn't say who you're representing, but
Yes.
we assume you're representing Springdale Prep School. But in it, he specifically asked 3 questions. One is the current zoning classification of the property, and it is actually now in what's called the Conservation Public Use Zoning District. And I'll share with you what that is. The second question is whether educational institutions, particularly private schools, constitute a permitted use within the applicable zoning district. And third, are there any outstanding zoning violations affecting the property? So let me answer 1 and 3 quickly. I already answered 1. In the conservation public use, and that spelled out in your zone. Do you all have copies of the zone or the code? Okay, if you want to look on page 215, 36.4, that spells out what the purpose of the CPU or the Conservation Public Use District. It says it's intended to provide protection from preemptive uses of land meant for public use or preservation. This land is typically either publicly owned, intended to be publicly owned according to the comprehensive plan, or not suitable for other types of development. So, under the permitted uses are A, land set aside for protection of environmental resources, B is public facilities and services, C is civic uses, and D is land designated in open space. Now, a private school doesn't fall under any of those categories. But there is a provision E in the permitted uses which states any other use that the zoning administrator and the planning commission deem appropriate. So our assumption is that gives myself and you all the latitude to make a private school permitted use. And I suppose we would do that by writing a letter stating the fact. The other option, I ran this one by Michelle, is to reclassify the zoning district that this is in, where it would be a permitted use. And the only district that I found is that has any provision that might provide for that would be in an employment campus under a permitted use of A2, which states educational institutions. Now, it doesn't say private educational institutions, it just says educational institutions. And Michelle Ostrander is our town attorney who I consult with. And she stated that that's a process that's long and arduous to reclassify. And so it's probably easiest and prudent if it's agreeable with the zoning administrator and with the planning commission to grant the use of this space as a private school, a private educational institution. So that's kind of where I would leave it at this point. The planning commission should discuss that and see where it goes.
I also talked to Michelle about this, and she apologizes she isn't able to make it, but she has, she didn't want to come out in this weather because of her recent work on her knee. So she apologized she wasn't here, but she essentially said the same thing to me, that it would be a longer process that would kind of really be out of our control for a while as it worked its way through. Whereas if we did go with this, I don't know what you call it, Section E provision there, where it's, you know, anything else we deem, it would be a little more difficult from my perspective if there wasn't already a school there and it had been operating as a school. If it was just a piece of land, then it would be very different. But it had been a school, it still is a school. But you know, the county has agreed to let that continue happening as they leased it. But that's, you know, for us to kick around. Now, I do know that part of the provisions for the leasing of the property is that there are some community organizations that get to use those fields. I think it's the rec council. Don't they still use the fields sometimes? Or is that no longer?
I think the rugby has an agreement where they use
Rugby team is all I've ever seen there.
fields, but
So I would think in our response to this, we would want to address that because that is an area, that's the only area really in town. Well, there's one other area, but even that's kind of a private area. But that was one of the provisions for with the county, that we would be able to have that available for some community use. And right now, I mean, it's difficult to have a crystal ball, I understand, but is the intention of that to just be a day school? Or is that part of this master plan where it's going to be a boarding school?
Currently, it is a boarding school, but that piece of land has no availability. So which means we only have classes during the day.
Right.
And we use it in the evening for the sports events.
Right.
And all the residential up the hill, that 500 Main Street, is where all the residentials are.
And when we had the master plan presented to us, the dormitory situation did not address having elementary or lower level students. So they were only making provisions in that plan for I guess the prep school. You know, so if that's going to be students, an international school, and you've got students coming in, are they going to be housed?
I don't know if you have seen our 20-year master plan, and
Several times, yes.
Yeah, in that plan, we have an idea like separating the middle school and high school. So the 500 Main Street is gonna be our high school, which gonna house like around 500 students. And this current middle school can have like a little over 300 students in the class.
And they're going to be housed on that campus?
Right, so we were
Okay.
thinking about that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be the last piece of development.
Sure.
So, at this point, all I can say is, it will be great, we have the option, because the school just keep growing. Right now, we have 200 students, and, we are just being limited by the work situation, basically. And, this year, we have about 100 local students most of from Carroll County, some graduate and Howard, like, but mainly the local Carroll County students. And, we were ranked #1 as a private school in Carroll County, we surpassed Estelle this year. So the school is growing, and we are thinking about to expand. And in the master plan, there are like residential plan.
Correct.
Yeah.
And as it was presented to us a couple months ago, well, when it was first presented as a 10-year plan, there was only discussion of the campus and I'll call it high school. I don't remember the distinction between middle school and high school. And when the question was asked, if the property was purchased at the bottom of the hill, the old middle school, which we know their classes are down there, will those students be housed up on the campus, up at the top of the hill? Or would there be other provisions? And they said they weren't able to address that. That's why I asked the question. So you're providing a little more information that all the housing for the students right now in your plan is going to be up on the new campus. Or, yeah, okay, okay.
That's where we're gonna start.
Because I think that would make a difference in what we do if there was an intention that, well, we're gonna put the school and we're gonna, because I think that's something down the road they would have to come back and talk to us if they wanted to do something different than just have it as an educational.
So Ed, yeah, I guess the question on the table would be, if we approve the school under the conservation public use, permitted use E as a private school, and we permit that, and then down the road, however long, they decide that they're gonna build some dormitories down there to house the underclassmen, low grades, is that going at that point to be a not permitted use?
I don't know that that's for us to decide here tonight. I think for us to answer the question that's been posed to us, would the use of the old New Windsor Middle School, the use of that as a private school be permitted? And
Yes.
and we can grant that. I think what we would need to do is be very clear in our written granting of that, to be clear that it's only, we are only authorizing or permitting the use of that property as a private school with nothing else. No other changes to what would be on. That would be another hoop to run through at a later time.
Okay.
But at this time, the question that we're being asked.
That's the request now.
Yes.
Sort of status quo. If we, right now, we've leased it, I think since what, 2021, from the county. the classes, the physical classes are there. And so we want to continue that arrangement for the foreseeable future. We just have the opportunity to actually purchase it rather than lease it from the county. But when we do that and we close, you know, in the standard due diligence of a deal, my question was, okay, the county is operating or did operate a school there. It was rezoned. I don't know how the whole history of the zoning, rezoning, but presumably the county was approved. They built it, they owned it, they could operate a school. What happens then if we're not just the tenant, we become the owner? Then we have to get a UNO to actually operate, and then will that be granted? So if we close, say, March 1st, we come into the city or the town and say, hey, we want to continue to operate the school, can we get a UNO? Obviously, we need to know that before we spend the money to buy it. And my question posed is, under the premise that we will continue to operate sort of status quo for now. Now, actually, in the 10-year plan or 20-year plan, yes, once they own it, they could come back at a later date and apply to perhaps do some renovations or do the housing aspect or something of that nature, which in my opinion would be, I think that's correct. I mean, that's a different, that's not coming to the planning commission and asking, hey, can we get a vote and written permission to build, you know, 100,000 square feet of dormitory. I think that would be the more formal process, if not rezoning, but obviously your site plan and all the approvals that go along with that. Right? So that's not what we're asking for tonight.
And we're not saying
Yeah.
that, you know, it's something we would work with, but for right now, kind of expedite this.
Yes.
And we will certainly get, you know, Michelle's advice on, you know, how to craft that letter of response. But it is, I like what you're saying, a status quo. It's essentially, instead of being a leased school, now you're going to be owning and continue operating it as a school. And down the road, we will then go through, work with you to go through those.
And I don't want to misrepresent and say that they won't make certain improvements or changes to the building or to the facility once they own it, because that very well could be the case. But again, it's like anything, any construction or any development, you know, there's certain parameters in place that are going to require permitting and approvals and all that. So we're not looking to sort of escape that whole process. We just want to know, day one, if we're instead of the tenant, if we're now the owner, do we have permission and the right to continue to use it as a school?
But that is the question. I think that's what's in front of us.
Yes, yes, I was just making sure that we knew that. Okay, it's cool.
And because we, as a group, have a little bit of history now, I first met you several years ago when you presented over in Springdale at the gym about the 10-year plan, which I now hear being called a 20-year plan. And we did have architects from North Carolina, I believe, came here a couple months ago, but nobody from the school. So we were not able to get questions answered along these lines. It was very sensitive to the community, the fact that we no longer had a middle school. And that property was sitting there, and we're happy that, and the county obviously is going to be happy that somebody will be taking that over and continuing. But we want to just do this by step, not the piecemeal that was coming to us from the architects. And we want to make sure that if the group agrees and we do this, that this is not carte blanche to go and do dorms and a coliseum and, you know, a huge parking deck. And it's to continue the school, as you using your words, status quo. So,
yeah, that's our request tonight, and through the process and the request ahead. But yeah, and as Ashley said, 10-year, 20-year plan. The probability that if things continue to progress at the school, then yes, they will come back and ask for further approvals on that project.
How about our developer and everything?
Makes sense to me. I'm in agreement.
Now, however, if y'all want to consider a blanket approval for any improvement to the property, we certainly won't turn that down.
Yeah, that was tried a couple months ago. Kept chipping away and chipping away, and eventually got nothing. So we'll just leave there. No.
Are we allowed to make requirements to our approval if we use the appropriate use approval? Or is it just, we say it's an appropriate use for a private school? Or can we say, yes, it's an appropriate use for a private school as long as they allow community use of the grounds a certain amount? I mean, are we allowed to do something like that? Or is it basically, we can only tell them, okay, we're gonna allow a private school to be used?
That's up to us.
You need to discuss,
Yeah.
Okay, because that's my question. If we can set parameters, I don't see why we couldn't do it.
Yeah, the only thing I would say to that, and I know, I guess, again, I don't have the whole history. My only involvement with Springdale since the inception, but with the middle school since 2021, would be that I'm not sure, and Ashley can maybe speak to this. I'm not sure, you know, there may be a willingness there to cooperate on some of these clubs and such going forward, but at the same time, we don't know what the future holds and how the facility will evolve. And so to commit to that as a condition to the use could be problematic, maybe not now, but down the line. If it's too onerous, I guess, is what I'm saying. Because again, we do go from a public facility owned by the county to now a private facility where, you know, Springdale will be spending their own money on the maintenance, repair, improvements, et cetera. So there's just some consideration of that. Where it's
My only thought process would be not in perpetuity. There's no way you could do that. But because you're looking, obviously, it sounds like you're looking to close quickly. So give these other clubs, instead of pulling the rug out from under them, from a community involvement, give them an exit plan. That's how I would approach it more. And I would think as a good steward, being a good part of the community, you'd want to do something like that. And that's how I'd approach it. I'm not approaching it to saddle you with taking care of our county clubs, but to give them an out, to give them an exit strategy to find.
In the past years, we have never had issues.
And again, I don't think, I understand that. I know some people that, and I've heard nothing but great things about how they've been able to work with you guys and use the property. So I wouldn't think there'd be an issue with that. But with that said, we never know who might be the next person coming in after you and how that might happen. So putting something in there as a timed to give them an exit strategy would be something I'd want to be considered. Just, I don't know if we need to debate this with them, but that's, I think, important.
So Mark-
We always can work it out. It's just
So
not-
apparently, it sounds like the rugby group, I guess, is the.
There's only one, yeah, I think it's only the rugby team that uses it, yes.
Our students are actually attending the rugby,
Yes,
so there's really no issue there.
okay.
And hey, Dave, what
I
is
was gonna say, Michelle will help you when you craft the letter to make sure that the proper verbiage is in there to do that.
you know, it wasn't just the school that, you know, people still have the memory of, but it's, and I know that wasn't there a time the rec council was using the ball fields?
There was a time, but, yeah.
And I know,
Yeah.
I've been up there with the kids flying kites, and I know you sat there watching me, what the heck you doing out there? And it was a public community area. It's not like we have a lot of large fields like that. So it is a transition now. Yes, I understand that it's been leased and we've already begun that transition. I think that what you were saying is a good idea, is that they have an opportunity to develop an exit plan, and here we are getting ready to throw in the spring. I don't know what the rugby season is, but
But yeah, give them a couple seasons to figure this out. Yeah, yeah. And that's just my only concern. I've actually gone to some of your basketball games, and so, yeah. You guys used to do breakfasts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we just don't have enough people. to serve.
I agree. It wasn't very crowded, but I did enjoy going.
It was so crowded, yeah, right?
So,
So let me ask a question, is this agreement now with the rugby team, is that an agreement between Springdale Prep, or is that with the county?
No, I think that we contact her directly, so the rugby team contact our school, we set the time, because we have soccer team, we have
Sure.
rugby team, other teams, so we just figure out each team's schedule.
Okay,
So
so
now-
you you were leasing the entire property, so you would have say-so over who uses it
Right.
now.
Yeah,
Right.
right now, they just use it, and they're not, I mean, like, there's no payment involved,
Yeah.
so they just use the field, and our students, some of our students participate as well.
Yeah.
So basically, it's just been like that for years.
Well, and yeah, and I wasn't, my whole purpose of bringing it up was I didn't want them to be surprised I didn't understand the relationship, which is great to hear. I'd only heard great things, but nothing in detail. I just wanted to make sure that all of a sudden the property gets bought June 1st and they're like, okay, rugby team, guess what? You're done. Yeah, I wouldn't want something like that to happen to any athletic team that used the fields.
We want continuation of our operation,
Okay,
because the county wants us to close on the property. They
okay.
actually have another buyer that's interested, we
Oh.
don't want to get into the bidding war.
Oh,
So that's why, like, at this time, it's such like rush.
okay,
Because if we could lease it forever, we will do it,
Okay.
but they want to sell.
okay,
The county needs the money,
okay.
so it actually, for us to come up with several $1 million, not like.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, as somewhat stewards for the town, again, moving from a public to a private run organization. I know we used to have the elections, we would go there. There's another place now that we go. We don't have anybody here, actually. You get to represent the town on this, but was there any issues with the snowstorm? Because that used to be the prime place for people to go park.
No, we haven't used that facility over there in Park, no.
So that's good.
There's nothing else from the
Okay, so
town.
that's not an obstacle. It doesn't happen much, but again, this is a small town. Anybody think of any other activities that we've got a lot of longevity here in town of where we would have used it up there? And not to try to obfuscate this at all, it's just, say we
When did the
can,
middle school cease operations?
It was 2007.
what was it, about like 16, 17?
Yeah.
And they've been for 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So will this require a letter from commission and? the
Yeah, and I think
administrator?
it would be something that we would work with Michelle to put together. And Ed and I would sign it, so it would be me representing the planning commission.
Ed, you'd mentioned 3 things. You said 1 and 3 you could answer, but 2 was,
Well, 2 is what we've been talking about.
Okay.
For the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
3 is there are no outstanding zoning violations.
Okay.
Affecting the property, and I guess if you go to the letter of the law, there is an outstanding.
I was gonna say, they've been operating illegally for the last 5 years.
Private school.
Yeah.
And that's not permitted, so I guess.
That's what I was thinking. They've been illegally operating then since they've been there, but no one's ever cared.
Well, that's the only thing that jumps out at me, but
I thought
our dealing with it in this manner would take care of that, or could take care of that.
I thought that too. I thought that was funny. Well, then they've been illegal the whole time.
A topic that has come up many times here, and definitely many more times at the council meetings, and that is the infrastructure and the water supplies for the town. Is that something that we need to have addressed in this? Because if it goes from being a public land to private, and my understanding is there's a potential there for water, is that something that would need to be addressed in this?
I don't think it needs to be addressed in asking this question. That's another, that they'll have to work with the town on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that is a huge issue that affects your master plan,
Yeah.
the whole issue with water.
Because we're not really giving them any extra water rights here. We're just letting them own the
Correct.
property.
But the difference is, and I'm not the attorney, but access to that, it's different
Okay.
having access to the water that's on the public land, I mean.
I understand what you're
public
saying.
county owned
Yep.
Versus now private owned.
Yeah.
That's,
Michelle will have to advise us on that. Yeah.
so obviously we'll put together a letter
The water
and send
access.
it, I guess, to you, Kevin, and then,
Yeah, Ed, I guess, just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll send, yeah, that's fine, to me on behalf of Springdale, and I can send you the parties that are purchasing.
okay,
Good, so I think, just so when Nash and I walk out the door, I think sounds like we're in agreement as to the continued use of the property as is going forward. Obviously, we talked about any improvements or any the changes would require site plan approval, coming back to the town, and going through a more formal process in the event that they wanted to expand as a 10 or 20 year master plan. Very good. Well, we appreciate everybody's time and consideration, and look forward to that.
Thanks for coming out on a snowy day.
Yeah, this will end at some point, I hope.
Oh, no, it's gonna disappear in the snow again.
and
Disappear in the snow
Ashley,
again.
I would just say, welcome, and it would be really nice that on occasion, you or Dr. Borman, the school would kind of come and come to some of these meetings sometimes, just kind of let us see you and know you, because we're kind of partners, we're talking about a huge potential development up there, and we need to know each other.
Yeah,
Yes.
we will, yeah.
Okay.
I've always been talking about inviting everyone to our school
No,
to take
no,
over.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, and we've been invited and come to some events at school, but we need you to kind of come here and be kind of aware of some of the things that are going on in town, because it affects you guys.
Absolutely, yeah.
You're definitely gonna be the biggest thing in town, and you need to know what's going on, and it would encourage.
Yeah, we have 70 employees now.
We used to have a lot more interaction from the school, we have not had that in a while,
Okay.
that's why I'm saying that.
Yeah, absolutely. I will.
I'll say it to the camera, because obviously it will be watched. You were aware, Kevin, that we're filmed, right? Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
You get to have your back.
We're filmed
Yeah.
24/7.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
we
right.
are. Thank you very much.
Thank you all, appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kevin, are you local, or did you have to come from a long distance?
I'm in Annapolis,
Oh, okay, so that's
Yeah.
enough.
not that
You
bad.
came from all the snow. Thank you.
Thanks.
Since they didn't ask, we didn't do it, but we could, I guess, take a vote if we want to, if the commission, we could take a vote to agree that the request seems to fit in with the code, if it's, as a permitted use, or would Michelle will help us with the wording,
With the wording.
but
Tie in some community use required for so many years, not more than 3 or 4, but to give current users an exit plan, if they even need one. It sounds like they don't really even need one, but I would just hate to not consider that rugby
I
talk.
think they need to have at least a year so that they have a chance to, okay, this is your last chance, next year, you're not gonna have that access.
Yeah, or they may agree to give it to them, which is fine, but I don't want them to not have at least a year or 2 to get out. A year, I guess, seems fair.
And I know the issue that, about them and water and stuff like that, I've heard about that. To me, I don't know if that is in this letter, that there's something that's said or not. I don't know that, but I'll put that up.
Well, I don't think that we'll be mixing apples and oranges in all these letters, right? We have a letter that goes to them talking about, is the school permitted to operate there as a private school? We're going to address that. We'll address the concern there. The town, they're going to have to work with the town, because it's going to be the way they're billed for their EDUs down at the school. And Gary will be working on that. They need the UNA, use and occupancy and use, whatever, UNO, and they'll be working with the town to get that. So that's not our issue here, the water situation, will be the
One of
town's.
The comments that Michelle had made is that, it's up to us what we would want to see, but, her advice would be that we would say, that a day school is a permitted use. With, day school being mentioned in there, because if you're talking about boarding school, that's that other element to it. So that was what she was saying to me, she would want to have put in that letter.
But aren't they already a boarding school using it?
If that's on the main
Yeah,
campus.
but that's on the main campus, right.
But there's no classes on the main campus, are there? Aren't all the classes down there?
Yeah, there are.
Oh, there are.
There are in both.
Oh,
And actually, the first step they came to us was to take, I don't know, with one of the buildings,
Blue Ridge Building,
I don't know, the first phase, they were gonna take something like
I think they were adding on to.
30,000 square feet and turn it into 160,000 square feet. That was their first renovation. They were gonna be expanding a lot more classroom space,
okay,
so
okay.
this has tentacles. And that's why, and Michelle knows better than any of us about the obstacle about going and getting a change in the zoning. And her advice is to kind of this section E or whatever that we could
Use
slide
that
through.
provision
Yes,
there
yes, use that provision now.
But it sounds like if they want to go down some of these other avenues, that they may have to go do a zoning change.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it sounds like.
And they acknowledge that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, the letter would probably have some stipulations there. It wouldn't say we can't approve additional water use or say, but we are only addressing the question of using the property as a private day school.
Correct, yeah.
And I'd like to throw in there, like he said, status quo, which is what it is now. It's going to continue, and my understanding is it's comparable to what was there before. The difference is it's a private tuition-based school as opposed to a public school. Okay.
Okay, you need anything else from me?
No, I guess you'll draft it and then work with Michelle, or send a copy to me, or you want me to take a shot at it, or?
Well, either that or just let Michelle do it for us.
Oh, okay. Yeah. She got nothing else to do now.
I have to be on the phone with her tomorrow about 2 other zoning issues, so I'll run this past her.
Stirring the pot on all this, aren't you, Ed? Jeez. Must be all that money you're getting being a commissioner.
Yeah.
That's-
It's all that under the table zoning money.
Okay, so, then I'll just wait till, either you or Michelle say
I'll
something.
drive it for a little bit
Yeah.
here and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
You're more than welcome to stay.
How long are you gonna be here?
An hour, 15 minutes. No, go.
Get out while the getting's
You
good.
don't want to read through this master plan?
I don't want paint dry.
Oh, look at this, everybody's leaving now. Wait, yeah. See you, Glenn. Give them hell over there. Take no prisoners. Okay,
Good night, Ed.
thanks for coming. Any updates for us, Dave, you'd like to?
Just a couple, nothing super major, but we have an ad out for the vacant Public Works maintenance position. And not a lot of people looking for jobs right now. Gary tells me usually they'd have 40 applicants by this point that they'd be going through, and we're lucky to have 10, and I'm not sure how many have been qualified. So maybe a slower process than we had hoped to fill that position. Public Works handled a water main break down at the corner of Church and Main. You may have heard about it. There was a tractor trailer that came through town early in the morning and clipped the pole down at the bottom of the hill and took out a bunch of wires and stuff. But later in the day or the next day, there was a water leak. They believe as that pole got clipped off, it shifted things and that pipe went. That happened to be the day before the big snowstorm, not yesterday's, but the real big snowstorm. And Public Works worked on a Saturday, and we had a crew come in from Mid-Atlantic, and they were able to get that water leak resolved.
Who's billed for that?
Who's billed for that? Well, there's a whole police investigation going on for that.
the accident?
Accident and that. So I would assume, this is me assuming, that if the police action takes place, that truck will be responsible. I would assume if they can prove that it was responsible for that water main break.
Because there was also at least one car, I know one car that got totaled as it came around the corner. It just, this crunched her car. And apparently it was on film, the vehicle. And it was very early in the morning, like 3:30 in the morning. So I don't know how a tractor trailer got around that corner. No wonder it took out so much.
They're not supposed to even turn there, right?
They come across the tracks. They came across the tracks, made a left-hand turn,
Yeah.
right in front of Frankie's.
Yeah, so.
And the car was in the way.
So, and then the following night, the snowstorm started, Public Works was in, and they were in 41 straight hours, taking care of the, of the town during that snowstorm. So we gave them a lot of kudos for that. They did a lot of work and kept things pretty well under control for us here in town. We held some discussions, improved selling our Kubota tractor, and we're going to purchase a skid loader. So we have a Kubota tractor that we used. It has the big lift on it, and that's what we use to load our trucks with salt. And it's getting to the point where it's going to need some expensive maintenance, and it's starting to rust because it's mainly used for salt. And so now's a good time to get rid of it. We can still get a pretty hefty amount of money for it on trade-in. So we're going to buy a skid loader to replace that. That it will have more uses around town. The tractor was a little light for some of the things it couldn't do. So this skid loader will give us the ability to load the salt and use it for some other things. So that kind of just popped up. We was not on our long-term list, but from what we can get on a trade-in, and it's a good time to go ahead and do that. And then we're working on the FY27 budget while all this is going on. So Gary's really thorough with our budget, so we're in the process of putting that all together. So that's all.
And I have been threatening this, Dave, and I was talking about it again with Kevin today. I've started a list, so I'll send it to you, and since I've been talking about it with Kevin, send it to him, of requests for the Planning Commission for a couple things. I think I forwarded to everybody that Javier had resigned from the county, and he said that Claire would be our temporary contact. And I wasn't really expecting her to be here, but so we cranked through them. It's so exciting. So I don't have any Carroll County updates. I sent her an email to see if there's anything she might want me to share, and didn't hear anything back. But I'm not sure today was even a work day for the county. Let's see. The public hearing. And I understand it went quick enough, you were able to leave and make it back to the town council?
Took
Good.
longer to drive down there than
Yes.
Yeah.
what we spent in the meeting.
Yeah. Well, she kind of told us
Yeah,
that would happen. But I did see that we had to do some kind of posting about the public hearing.
We did. The town advertised it. Yes, we had to do that.
So I think you were the one telling her to go ahead and do that. I'm glad. Thanks, because
Yes, Dana did that from the town. We still had to announce that we were holding a public meeting in conjunction with the county, just so all that was.
I was surprised at that because I think her name was Brenda, had sent me and saying they were going to do it and that they would just include us with theirs.
Yes, and I think possibly Michelle thought it was a good idea to do that as well.
Michelle was the one who kind of did this because my understanding was.
Look at Michelle did. I think Dana brought it up and I think got the thumbs up that yes, we should do that. So they did.
It wouldn't hurt to do it, but my understanding was and actually from one of the emails that I sent to Brenda just to confirm, we were gonna have people there, that they were going to announce that it was a public hearing for, I think it was us, Manchester, and somebody else.
It was just us in Manchester. Yes.
Okay. But, and so, any surprises, nothing?
No one signed up, no comments or anything.
Right.
It was, we just more or less introduced ourselves.
Yep.
And I guess that established that we had a quorum.
Right.
For each,
Okay,
for New Windsor and Manchester. And she did a brief PowerPoint on the water resource element, and that was it.
That was it.
and there was no voting or anything, it's just the
No,
fact that
this
there
was
was a
a-
quorum present, so that made the public hearing effective for,
Yes.
okay, great.
We just more or less under the umbrella of the county with that, yeah.
And, it was,
Everyone except Rebecca made it.
Rebecca
and-
and you,
yeah.
yeah.
okay, good, so we obviously had a quorum, okay? Well, cool,
And you guys will get paid for that.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
okay.
I asked Dana and she said, yes, you guys will get
And I
paid for
think
that
the
meeting.
comment period was what ended tonight. Did they have a meeting tonight? Was it the
So
23rd?
23rd, the last two, Tawny Town and Mount Airy, we're holding theirs. And then after that, she had sent out an email of the process that it's gonna go through. They're gonna combine everything.
30 days after their meeting, or?
No, they'll be closing the public comments, I think, after tonight's thing, and then she's gonna combine, and she said the other day there's been absolutely no comments at all. So, it should roll relatively quick, I think, after this.
So, yeah, I had asked Kevin that, so what's the criteria for when you get paid, when you do something like that?
Well, it's a town meeting function that we had to go to, so, yeah. When I came back, I had asked Dana that, and she said yes, so.
We probably should then for the one we did back in the fall. We did one with, I've never
I
requested.
didn't even think about that. I was only thinking because we had the whole,
sure,
the whole crew
absolutely.
there. I didn't think about that one we went to that time, yeah.
Just thinking of where I may have shortchanged everybody that they didn't. I think it was only that one I can think of, you and I did that one with the net down online.
Yeah.
Okay, all righty. I guess we can power on with the comprehensive plan review.
Let's do it.
Still gonna stay in a comfortable chair. Oh, you're not my way. No, you're not that tall. Still not. Sorry.
It's all right. Been my whole life. I know the drill.
So one of the items that I mentioned a couple times to the group, and then I realized maybe that was just stupid, is that when I went in and gosh, it's probably almost been a year ago now, that I went in and got the census data and populated the charts. Because we're getting close to wrapping this up. And then we should all give it one more look. Maybe that might be the logical time that you look at the charts, and then when we get together for one final time before we'll get the official document to forward it on to the planning, to the town council, then that way we can make any other adjustments. Yeah, and so, because I started to go through these again myself, because it's been so long, and it's like, but it's something we gotta do anyway when we roll through it again. Okay, and I will ask Dana to get copies for everybody of the code, because that's the next thing. It's time for us to go through the code. And we should probably get a clean copy. I don't know if there's been any changes, but who just left? Oh, there, you went over there. Is there, I know you have a copy of the code. You have to refer to it regularly. Kevin, do you have one
Of what?
of the town code? Especially the part 245 that pertains to
Well, you mentioned
265.
that. I don't think I do.
Okay. You, Drew, I know,
I've got it in the back, but I don't think it's, I mean, it's just relating to zoning and planning.
you know, it's certainly not as voluminous as the comprehensive plan. I'll just get a copy, and I know Dave will want a hard copy. And I'll just get copies, and I'm assuming you don't need another one, or you want one.
I'm trying to think, 'cause I can't mark up the copy I have.
Okay, then I'll get you one. We'll just do that.
It is available online also.
Right. I can't print it out on my printer.
That's the way I feel also. I'm not printing it out on a print. I'll have for us next time 7 copies, so that then, and then we won't do anything, but that'll be the next thing we'll roll into. Because we can keep that money flowing, so you can build that into, you know, your Christmas giving and stuff like that, knowing you're gonna get a monthly meeting. And I know Michelle loves doing that. So what I was just saying, Dave, is that the code, did anybody ever give you a copy of the town code? Or the section? Well, it's okay, I'm gonna have a copy made for everybody, so that next meeting, I can put it in your hand, because that's what we're gonna roll and start reviewing next. That's actually more fun than this comprehensive plan, yeah.
I'm feeling very old.
I have the charter, so I got that years ago, I guess, right after I came on board.
And also, what I was just saying, Dave, is that I know I've been mentioning that I put in the census data into all the tables, and that I would like other sets of eyes looking at the words that I put with the tables. But since we're getting close to the end, and the final step is going to be for us to all to go back through it again and look one final time, I'll just ask that that time you look at the tables in particular, and see if there's anything else that you may all of a sudden have a comment or a thought on, because this has been a long process. All right, so, okay, so I got us here at the recommended actions. Does that sound right to anybody else have it marked there? Yeah. Yeah. Yep, okay. So this is chapter 11. So I see, okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I see we did a whole bunch of work on this. I see at the end of the first paragraph, not recently, because we've had the museum for quite a while. This is 2009. In 2009, a cooperative effort with New Windsor State Bank, they achieved the long-term goal to open the museum. Actually, I had a note on here about this, we haven't done a house tour in years. We haven't done, so this essentially is striking that whole paragraph.
Yeah.
Anybody else a member of that Heritage Committee? Yeah, right, yeah. Yeah, dues payment, right, that's about it too, and even then, and without Frank bugging you for the pledges, it's kind of been dying. Okay. Oh, yes, the infamous sign code. Yeah, we abbreviated this significantly. If you recall the discussion, because we had illumination, lettering, color, all kind of things, so we just say we have it. That was good. Okay. Yeah, it's funny you say that. I got a note. Yeah, that's right. I remember that discussion.
Yeah, the definition of a banner.
Yes. But that, we would have to deal with that in the code. That's right. Yes, you're right. Good point. Boy, that was a while ago.
Couple of years, yeah.
Okay. Hmm. What's the track record?
Number 3, let's consider developing a municipal Main Street effort. Did you put a blurb in there about the businesses in their, effort for, the business and networking?
I actually, but I had on here number 3, and I'm saying what we used to say, consider developing a municipal Main Street effort. This wording, continue to support, isn't what I have here as a note. I had it's changing 3 to encourage developing a municipal commerce coalition. Does anybody else have that?
No, we changed 3 because that's kind of what that's what the streetscape program is now called, what the state's doing for us here in town. Our Main Street is that, really, it's the joint sidewalk retrofit thing.
Okay.
That's kind of what headed it off, but it's really the Main Street.
Okay.
In other words, to support this effort, that the town may wish to develop some additional benefits such as a facade improvement grant program. Would that be a town-funded program, or?
I thought we were getting rid of that whole paragraph.
Yeah, the second paragraph.
Yeah, we pulled that out. It's not in there.
Oh, okay, no, this copy I have.
It's not on there.
Okay. Okay, number 4, review design guidelines.
Yeah, the pattern book.
I don't think that ever.
Oh, we took, that's out of there.
Did we take that out?
Yep. Essentially, it looks like it's mostly the first paragraph. And then we scratched the next 2 paragraphs with this sentence, town code has specific guidelines that are reviewed as needed. So that was actually number 5 in the hard copy that you were probably looking at. Yeah, that's now 4 because we knocked down, I don't know which one. So number 6 in the old one is now number 5. Review the town codes. And I didn't have any notes for that one at all. And then what had been number 7, seek to ensure development of the perimeter, we just struck that altogether. Now, I do see a note on here about fiscal implications. And we have this regularly throughout this. The recommendations contained in this plan may be policy oriented, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of like disclaimer. So when I do the cleanup for the final version before I send it to you, I will get those out of there, but just have it one time. Yeah. So that is on me, and I just haven't done it. So then we get into specific fiscal implications after you get past that disclaimer.
So just eliminating that paragraph for all the.
Yeah, what will be fiscal implications, and it'll go right to number one. This paragraph that I have the X through,
Yeah.
we've got that in each of the sections, yeah. One didn't really change, two didn't. We did have something before about redevelopment of tax credit eligible historical properties, we scratched that. A municipal Main Street effort, we scratched that. Once again, that's right, I remember now, you were the one talking about the sidewalk retrofit, correcting the name for us. So based off of our discussions, this is kind of what we came up with from the last time. Looks like it matches it. Oh, I'm sorry. I can make that bigger for everybody that's reading it. That'll change the page numbering though, I think. Let's see.
Go down in the corner and slide that over.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Okay, it's good. So it'll still keep it that page numbering good. Everybody good? Okay, community involvement.
We haven't had too many people attend any of our.
It's the same thing, the town, I mean, people don't come unless they have something that they're concerned about or something that directly affected them they didn't like, then they'll come in. Feel free when you see the town people that came around and did the snow plowing this morning at 2 o'clock in the morning. If you see them, just acknowledge and thank them.
I usually go out and try to offer them coffee. If I'm away.
I usually go out there and run down the street naked to try to get their attention, and then, you know.
That's why.
That's right.
Why snow's all over
That's
the
right.
sidewalks.
I was gonna say, I just want it's piled up.
Well, I'm not moving real fast. Michelle and I do it, you know, neither of us can move that fast. Okay. Current conditions. I feel like I'd like to put this in bright, bold, red letters for everybody, because there are opportunities. don't think there's anything new in this.
So are we trying to, just looking at that the first paragraph there, we've been pulling out a lot of the county stuff and strongly encouraged to participate in the review and revision of both the Carroll County comprehensive plan and the new Windsor comprehensive plan. That's,
Just,
Carroll County to me,
oh, just take out the Carroll County?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's.
We're so far along on this now. I don't know if I want anybody else participating. We want to get this done. But we will encourage them to come to the public hearing so that they can voice their questions, concerns.
yeah, I'd say we'll have to have a hearing,
Yes, there'll be a hearing,
final,
yes.
yeah.
Do we have the hearing before? No, once it goes to the council, and then the council has the hearing, and we should attend that.
I mean, it certainly should.
Yeah.
So you see the fruits of your labor become.
And you'll get paid to go to that. That's a whole new revenue stream now. I'm thinking of all these.
Meetings.
All that.
Now, would we remove?
Maybe I'll have to add that to the list I'm going to give
would we
you, I think.
remove the county's government structure?
Yes. Well,
Let's see, have they changed their terms since they've expanded the board?
yeah, I don't know why that's there.
What, this board of Carroll County?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think that makes sense because that's the next level above the
Going
town.
Down the line, then.
You don't think?
Well, I mean, it's government structure, I guess, you can do that.
Because it does it. They're the ones that address stuff outside the town limits.
Yeah. I guess we won't know what legislative district. As soon as they're, I don't know how that's in legislation right now, that redistrict, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right, it's still here.
Good question.
No, it's what
We are in a legislative district.
Yeah, just say, yeah, we're in a leg. We're on the fence.
So do you want to take out the Carroll County?
Well, if you're gonna let the others.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Administrator. I don't know why we have, it's in red.
I mean, it was totally changed, so maybe they just didn't.
You know, I don't think we had that in there before, that's why. Oh, I know what it was. It was separate. It was all included in one paragraph, so we separated it out. Because this used to be this one run-on paragraph, the planning commission, the zoning amendments, so we separated into three components. Do you vote on the Board of Appeals, Board of Zoning Appeals? Is that a town council, or is that just a mayor appointed?
It's appointed by the mayor.
Let's say, when I was on it,
This is appointed.
yeah, Jay, he
Yeah.
asked, and I don't know whether.
Now, we get voted on by the town council. There is a recommendation that's made, and the town council does vote on each of us. But I don't think that if that's true for the zoning appeals and the administrator, because I think Ed was just appointed by the mayor. We don't even address how he gets the job.
David, I guess it was ran by you, the council, wasn't it? With Kevin,
Yes, he,
or that was maybe.
but I don't think I don't remember voting on him. I mean, it's just like all the.
You know what? I'll just ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I just don't recall.
Let's guess.
Here's appeals from administrative agencies. Most of the time it's from businesses and private citizens.
Who would I ask? I'll start with Kevin. If he did it, but I think this would, because I think Ed got appointed by Neil. Yeah. Oh, I'll start there.
That's a good point you just made there. Administrative agencies.
Yeah, most of it's,
Yeah, that doesn't fit. This town structure doesn't.
it's usually businesses or individuals, maybe.
That hears appeals from,
We have a deck because we.
Individuals or entities?
35 foot of the property line, we have to give a.
But it used to say, stuff, appointed by the mayor. In the board, in general, the board hears and decides on issues pertaining to special exemptions and variances. The power of the board are defined in the code. Tom, you want
Yeah, I mean, that's what.
That sounds better than what's up there.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
the
the powers of the
administrative
board are
agencies.
defined by the code, yeah, okay.
all right, so I was reading this and I heard you guys talking, so I didn't pay attention enough. What do you want in here?
So a 3-member board appointed by the mayor.
That hears appeals from,
It says, in general, the board hears and decides on issues pertaining to special exemptions and variances.
But citizens issues in there.
Well, it could be
It's a-
citizens
it's a-
or
It's a decides on
businesses.
issues.
Yeah.
So, which is, yeah, I mean, the way this is written, it's to the T, you know. The power of the boards are defined in the code.
do we want any of that in there? The hears and decides on issues pertaining to special exemptions and variances from the code, from the town code, or variances?
It just says the powers of the board are defined in the code of the town. That's what I have.
Right, that's what I have too.
All right, so,
The powers of the board.
a 3-member board appointed by the mayor that hears and decides on issues pertaining to special exemptions and variances. Then a new sentence?
Yes.
Okay,
The powers of the board
the powers of the board.
are defined in the code
In the town code.
of the town of Newton. Town code is the New Windsor Town Code.
Okay. Cool beans. process. Okay. Oh, this is repetitive. Why we got that twice? We have current citizen participation opportunities. We got these three. And then we go down Town Board of Zoning Appeals. It's the same thing we just said. This is section. Well, the section's about community involvement. But if I just strike that out, because that's repetitive.
Town Board of Zoning Appeals.
Yeah, because we've already got.
We have planning process uprightness.
Three-member board, got it, appointed by the mayor, and that say, that does say just mayor.
Yeah, huh, that's weird.
For 3-year terms. The hear and decide issue pertaining to special exceptions and variances. Exceptions, I'm sorry, I said exemptions. Powers of the form of the divine go to. So, okay, if I take that out,
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
yeah.
I had that scratched.
You had that scratch the BZA,
Yes.
okay? Other than liking to say it, Michelle also said that to take it out. Yeah. Yeah, it was a while ago. This is, okay. Planning.
WTPR do anything anymore?
I don't think television does anything either. Well, I get what Carroll Media.
Well, you got,
Yeah, Carroll Media. Sorry about that.
I mean, the stuff's still there.
Yeah.
I don't know that,
What's in print?
well,
And nothing's ever in print.
That may include Carroll County.
Well, at least we struck the Carroll County Times because there's never anything. I miss the days of having a reporter occasionally around. Of course, they say that, but until they come to you. Carroll County Gov, okay.
Can we change the website to New Windsor's website?
I think we should.
That's oriented to New Windsor?
Oriented to, one website they can say is oriented to just New Windsor, okay. We're gonna leave the Carroll County out, I guess,
Yes.
okay. And it would be what, this New Windsor? Yeah, check your phone.
I was gonna say, who's gonna Google it or look it up, because I don't know that off the top of my head.
I apologize, I need to take a break.
just newwindsormd.gov.
What do you have there?
Just New Windsor. newwindsormd.gov. Yeah.
So the site contains extensive information on the town of New Windsor.
Yeah.
And New Windsor. Period. Whoop. And then the rest.
You want to say, and something about links? Does the site contains its town New Windsor?
Information on town of Windsor and links to what? What's
Well, it has like government, has business, residents, visitors, latest information.
community activities, community activities and governmental functions.
There you go.
Governmental functions. Period.
Don't say.
Do you want to mention anything about emergency notices?
Yeah, that's a new emergency alert sign up.
Okay, we're right there, Mark.
Yeah, that new.
So you say something like the town hosts an emergency, what's called emergency,
Emergency alert sign up is what it, I mean,
right there, Mark, you can start typing the town hosts an emergency, hosts, not post, hosts, H-O-S.
Okay.
Hosts, an emergency alert.
what is it, an app? Is it an app? Is it a separate app?
Yeah, it's a little,
I think you gotta go to the pay bills and create an account.
right.
We haven't done it yet, because that's another password, everything we gotta,
Just leave it at that. Town hosts an emergency alert system,
yeah, that sounds.
which you can.
See, I don't know whether it's I'm not familiar, is anybody,
I
is it an app, or?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how it works.
That might be something to get put in the newsletter.
Yeah,
Well, it is.
I think it
Oh, it is in the newsletter? Okay.
It's asking people to sign up for it.
Yeah, because those are great when you get those.
And as soon as you go onto the town's website, that's the first thing that's a pop-up, first thing that pops up.
Okay.
So maybe put the town also hosts, because it's not the website, so you put also, it'll, it's an app. Also hosts an emergency alert system to inform the community of
When the occasion arises,
community vital information of
Well, mainly it is for emergencies. Don't know how. Situations, emergency situations. recent snow, whether they said about off-street parking, well, that was an alert you got, or, I don't know. How extensive it.
Who manages that?
Town.
The town, meaning like
Like,
town staff?
yeah, whenever once you sign up, and then they put things out there, like I don't think we have used it yet, I don't think.
Like they're shutting off your water or something
Yeah.
like that.
And obviously this would go out to everybody
That has signed up for it, right?
to inform, to inform those who have signed up of community emergencies, or relative, or of,
I don't know how you.
Emergent situations. Yeah, something on that line. The rest of that stuff can go, Mark.
yeah.
It's kind of tough too, right? That could go.
Yeah, I guess that's,
Well, here,
There it
it
is.
repeats itself again.
There it is.
Tell me when you website for items.
so, but we got that on the internet, right? So maybe we,
Internet. Which website that is?
maybe instead of one website, but the website that contains,
Yes, correct.
yeah. I think we probably can just strike the second one.
And that one's wrong anyway, it's spelled wrong.
What's that?
It's knee Windsor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's missing a W.
That's what
Yeah.
the old one was.
It's been spelled wrong for 20 years.
Yeah, that had.
But that was the early days.
It was the old knee Windsor site.
It's like
What
Alexa.
would happen if you would type that in, what you would get?
You don't wanna know.
What?
Maybe Uzbekistan or something.
That's a stupid line in here. Opportunities for improvement, however, do exist. I don't know what that means.
Isn't that kind of repetitive to what,
Yeah, I would get rid of that second, yeah, it's silly.
because that more or less was covered.
I guess the agendas they're no longer printed in the newspapers. Public meeting agendas are posted.
Well, they're posted, the agendas are posted online now.
Right.
Yeah, so it's not named nothing in local paper.
Right. Not but, and, yes.
Not but, yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Is this, we broadcast live and then there's also the recordings?
You can watch it on YouTube.
I wouldn't
watch
say
town meeting.
although.
We watch town meetings on YouTube.
On cable television for public viewing,
For streaming,
And-
streaming services.
live on cable television for public viewing, as well as as well as YouTube for streaming.
Because I don't know, on like Channel 19, I I don't think it's live, is it?
I think sometimes
Is it?
it is.
Sometimes.
I'm always here.
Yeah, yeah. We watch it on YouTube. Yeah, we don't go to.
You know, I think it is live. Well, no, it can't be though, because,
On YouTube, it's live.
yeah, because like, Union Bridge has theirs tonight. Because that's why Glenn had to leave. So right now, they've got two of them running on, so they both can't be live.
Those one's on channel 19, one's on channel 20. And it turns.
I'm just gonna say our broadcast,
Yeah, just.
Yeah.
And streaming. Live on cable.
our broadcast live on cable and streamed on YouTube.
Yeah, and streaming.
And when we say on cable, do we say a station or?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Just do Carroll County Public Television?
On
Carroll
Carroll
Media stuff. Carroll Media. On Carroll Media. Yeah.
I think YouTube has got a capital T, is that right? Yep, that'll do it.
So I think that next paragraph is, I don't know, I think it's very.
Yeah, we don't, that's a, oh, there's so much we could say.
Might as well give him hell a little bit here.
Because of
We
this.
know you aren't gonna show it.
If there's so much absent, they're not gonna read it anyway. Right? Or we just saved a tree.
We need this too, either.
I mean,
Who put this in here?
Get rid of that.
We have a lot of all
that
those.
was some of it.
We got a lot of apathies. No, I think that's been in there.
Wait a minute. But Glenn must have put that in there. He's not here. That was Bob. That's why Bob did that. Okay. I remember discussing this because this is a really dangerous thing. They got number one?
We're not doing that.
Yes. Tell us what we're not doing.
You know, how bad people hate surveys?
Oh,
Like, you
I know.
Anything you do, you get a survey for, what do you get? Delete. I'm done with survey.
The only reason you take a survey is to complain. That's the only people go online usually.
Survey community board.
Okay, I'm striking that one.
I follow her on Facebook. And she shadows that New Windsor United. Cause she'll say, what's happened to New Windsor? You got all these people.
What's it called, New Windsor, what?
New Windsor, I don't know, it's New Windsor residents or United or something.
It's on X or whatever.
It's on, no, it's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook, I don't
It's
think
okay.
that.
No, I don't either. She shadows it and every so often she'll say, what happened to New Windsor?
Maintain relevance in the forefront of people's minds. I don't know. How about in the minds of the community?
Oh my God. Living document?
It's kind of wordy there to get,
Yeah, that's a good, wording.
that's a lot of word salad there.
Yeah, living document.
How about this is to maintain relevance.
It's like a locust. It doesn't come up until you gotta, it it doesn't, you know, nobody talks about it until we gotta review it.
They become confident. Reading the English and become confident in our mind.
I guess as the liaison to the town council, how much are you providing comprehensive plan updates? I would say like,
I provide them an update every meeting.
no, that we're working on the comprehensive plan development, but like, are we really doing anything where we're letting the community know how we're following the plan? Every so often, there will be something will come up about whether something fits in with the
Yes,
comprehensive plan.
absolutely. When we're applying for grants and things like that, we tie it back into the comprehensive plan. I mean, it's not like we don't use this plan, but it's certainly not like we review this plan to see if we're, no.
Yeah, it's like, telling Dave, it's kind of like a locust, like every 10 years, anytime, you know.
For us, it's every 15.
Yeah.
It's give or take 4 years for pandemics.
Just for troops and giggles, have you ever wanted to hit Copilot on this, on the computer? Either you have Windows or hit Copilot to see what it, or AI, what it.
No, I don't. No. I don't do Chat GPT. I'm not doing, nope. So anybody feel a need for this?
I think it's kind of wordy.
And it's also pretty wishful thinking, because once we give these regular updates and the community becomes familiar with the data, then they'll be confident in relying on the data. I don't know what this is.
So this section is recommended actions for community involvement,
Yes.
okay?
Come to meetings.
Well, so we'll come to meetings, but the really our recommended actions is continue to hold the meetings where public participation is welcome. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what we do every month. You know, we're not gonna get people to read this and come and.
Try to maintain a transparent government process, or I'd say you're a former teacher.
I mean, the best that we can do is ensure that we hold open meetings, that we do transparently conduct our business.
To the town code, or yeah. I mean, transparency seems to be an operative, you know.
The first part pretty much wraps it up, huh?
Conducting transparent
The rest of it.
updates on projects, events, and use implementation of specific plan recommendations. We don't need through a community newsletter.
I just can't see all that.
So open meeting, transparent, and open meeting is kind of a,
Same thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Change the public updates. Projects and things.
Why not just this line without this other gobbledygook?
Provide open meetings and.
I put transparent updates. I missed what was
Yeah,
actually.
that's up to me now, we're putting that in there. Open meetings and discussion with public? Constituents, no. Encouraging,
Informative updates,
there, okay.
Informative?
Yeah, maybe informative updates.
informative updates on projects.
About transparent and informative.
Yeah, that doesn't,
Yeah, no, that's it, hitting it twice.
yeah.
Well, the idea of transparent is that you're not hiding anything.
That's what I'm thinking, you want to.
But if you say informative, that's in the eyes of the beholder.
Smoke-filled backrooms, right?
What's wrong with smoke-filled backrooms? That's where business happens.
That's the way you used to get it done, right?
That's a-
No smoking inside anymore.
That's right.
You gotta have a smoke-filled patio.
That's right. Yeah, the smoke-filled chat room. All right, conducting informative,
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one. Yes.
okay. And just leave it at that sentence and scratch the rest of it? Going once, twice, all three. So ultimately, the users of this resource will become more informed and more active citizens. Thanks to the scheduled flexibility afforded by electronic participation. Who the heck wrote this? We approved this, Dave. Were you part of this one too? Drew, were you here with this?
Oh, no,
No, okay.
Oh, this isn't, we're past what Emily had.
Oh, maybe that's what happened. Maybe.
I don't have any marks on this part. I don't think we've ever done this.
This looks like AI kind of.
Well, this is
wording.
not, this is.
Oh, I bet you she would have done, I bet you she would have used AI. Good point.
She did a lot of typing while we were in here that I don't know what it was about.
Yeah, when you said word, that's it, that's what's, yeah. What do you think, strike all that out?
It's,
Oh, and by the way, the last plan, nah, that ultimately the user of this resource, no, that was in the original plan. Yeah, that was in there. We wrapped it on a bow. So you will become informed now. You will then participate.
that, what's the electronic participation with that, social media? Is that a
Gosh, what would electronic participation been 15 years ago?
Faxes?
party line, maybe that?
A party line. God, you're old, Drew. It was never a party, but yeah. All right, we're gonna take them all out?
Yep.
We're gonna stay with the bold and the restless. There we go. This is for the council. Form citizen committees to implement appropriate strategies from the plan. I remember when we talked about that, it was never really clear who's going to form these committees.
Did one ever exist, did you ever have?
NewCap's the only one that I kind of knew of.
I remember that, just driving by, seeing that, but I never.
I'm gonna resurrect NewCap.
You know, it's-
Have you seen the mountain that just grew
Yeah,
outside of
yeah.
town? Yeah, I have had several NewCap members tell me that would not have happened. There would have been, an uproar, and that would not have happened if that was still active. Because we have not had the same kind of, it's been a while since we've had regular interaction with them. So,
yeah.
I want to get through the plan, but if anybody's interested in being on NewCap, I'll give you the opportunity. Okay. Is there a function for this one?
Well, there is, they're doing the business roundtable now. So
Okay.
that's an organization that's happening. green team organization committee that's being formed, so there is, you know, committees that could be formed if.
Well, you want to mention those two in here? Such as the Business Roundtable?
Put it in there, we know about it.
Okay.
See the Savannah's, that one, that was up for foreclosure sale.
Her property?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah, I think they're needed $60,000. It was, I don't know, but that's what they owe.
Tax sale or?
Yeah, you didn't see that in the.
In what?
Oh, well, it was Carroll County Times, it was in the,
I don't get
in the
Times.
legal section,
I
yeah.
don't get Times.
I don't know, I don't know how many times it got printed. Yeah, that's,
Wow.
essentially most, I think goes back to, well, I think it was not taxes, but I think it's, like paying a mortgage. Yeah, it was, yeah, because it was whatever the firm's.
So I think she was renting.
Yeah, it was an LLC, but it didn't, but. Evidently they defaulted. See, like in '76, well, even in 1975, the town we had a bicentennial committee. Cause I was on it, cause it's representing the hardware store. Oh, we had that big May Day, that was what started May Days. with the Lions Club.
Yes, I remember.
But it's just like, it's come up, this year, there's nothing. Yeah, we had parade, we had a car show, had a beard growing contest, there was a whole bunch of community events. Cause I remember back in, we started in fall '75, having meetings and planning for.
When you say we, who was coordinating that?
I guess it was the town. Yeah. And then it evolved then into, yeah, we had a parade, it had floats, all the different organizations that had floats, and they had, France got the bands.
It sounds like this must reach out to Neil. That sounds like something he would really get
This
into.
was before Neil was,
Oh, I know, but no, I mean, if you're talking about something for 250th,
well, 75, yeah. But for the 250th anniversary, there was,
yeah, we're there.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember going to one of the meetings we had over in Jack Co's living room. I think I was representing Windsor Hardware, the hardware store, because they had included businesses. And, you know, like, what do you got going? We handed out these old paperweights for the bicentennial.
So got the first one, form a citizen committee such as the Business Roundtable, and you said the Green Team?
Yeah, there's more to the green team, it's the, slipping my mind. I don't know.
Well, it'll be in here. What I'll do is I'll highlight it, and then when we come across it, maybe we can fill it in. Anybody know if roundtable is 2 words or 1?
You know, I do remember thing.
Yeah, that's right. You're the teacher.
Knights of the Round Table. I don't know.
I think it's one word.
I think it's 1. I don't think it's 2, yeah.
I
But
think it could be
usually
both.
I'm always wrong.
It could be both, because it didn't correct me. Okay. Do we want to keep in this chastising?
I think keep the bold statement kind of covers it.
We want to vest them by giving them some measure of oversight or responsibility. This must have been Barb Lilly instead of AI.
Must have had a bad day.
Well, we were paid by the word back then. Just take all that out.
Kind of
Yeah,
self-explanatory.
that's what I'm thinking.
All right,
It-
this side of the room, it's unanimous. We want to take it out. Everybody, not, okay, good.
There's that little code file there, you can click on that.
Nope, nope. Then it'll do everything else now. You young kids.
Change it all back to what you just got rid of.
You can go back, you can. I'm
All right.
fiddled with that, but I've always saved the original.
I'm not a fan of Copilot, so.
Want to just leave 3 as is and just get rid of the paragraph?
The plan, I guess. we'll
Yeah,
have to-
Great lengths are taken to reach out to as many people as possible. No. Okay. Let's end it there. Kevin has yawned. Okay.
Well, you can get rid of that, physically, you can get rid of that.
Okay. So, thank you. Announcements. The 23rd is our next meeting, and Monday, the 27th of April. And God, at this rate, we should be able to say that, and then that would give us 2 meetings to finish this, and then we'd want to take one final look, which would be the May meeting, and then could be looking at early summer, turning it over to the town council too. It gets turned to them, and then I'm not sure what kind of review happens, and we'll have to. I don't know if there's anybody on the town council that was around when we did this last time. So I don't know if that means we would be available at a town council meeting. I'll find out for next meeting and let everybody know.
changes, they probably won't make wholesale changes.
Well, one of the things I've been working on is when we do our final sit down, okay, here's you've had it for a month, is like look through. I've started a list of key items for them to be aware of.
To look at closely.
Yeah, or at least for their awareness, kind of like an executive summary.
Yeah,
We definitely need to do that, because that's the stuff we want to point them to.
Yeah.
Stuff
Right.
like
Exactly.
the
The
properties.
property,
Yes,
the
right.
yes,
That's the
exactly.
stuff, you know.
And make them aware of what the state is required of, the state requires certain sections, right, for the plan.
And that all changed.
Uh,
That all changed. And when we were up at the county, I said something to him, and what I heard from Javier is that if a new plan has come in and has worked its way through the process before October of last year, then it's under the old guidelines. But I need to have somebody tell us we need to redo this, because the guidelines are different now than when we started this, yes. Instead of the 12 criteria, there's like 8, but you can't take and eliminate 4, and you got 8 left. No, there are 8 that look different. And that means a total changing. And as I said to Brenda up there, and I don't know if I said it to the commissioner, I did said it to one of the commissioners I saw later. This is where the county should have been giving us some guidance on this. They've been with us, even though it's been a different person every month.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're the ones that do this, not us.
when's meatloaf?
That was last week.
That was last week, okay. Any other announcements? When's the parade this year?
Whatever that Wednesday.
Is there gonna be a parade?
Yes, there is gonna be a
Awesome.
parade, so you can invite,
Grandkids,
yeah.
since I missed out on getting a truck ride with the kids. Okay, any other announcements? All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
so moved.
Oh, second by Drew. Drew got it.
There you go, Drew gets it.
So it's Dave. Got all those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
I keep forgetting, I wanna go nay, just so I didn't want the meeting to end.